Hi, everyone. Welcome to ENN. Ray Rowe.
On Tiwi.
It's brought to you by our friends at Security Dodge. I'd like to start off by saying good evening to Michael.
Thierry Henry.
Oh, that is... Wait, when did that happen?
That's when I said the ball people. So that is Henry?
Oh,
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry? You called him Thierry Henry?
That's right. Thierry Henry.
See, because the thing is, Don, here's the thing. Hear me out. Just me and you talking.
Okay.
Nobody else with us. No one listening. Just humor me.
Okay.
We do a sports program.
Mm-hmm.
If we randomly bring up a movie from the 1970s that I've never heard of the actor in, Michael will immediately go, well, make some sort of comp to, well, you weren't alive for Abraham Lincoln, but you know who he is. When Thierry Henry's name is there, and he says his name's Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry.
No, we're just supposed to move forward?
You know what? I agree with you. And if you're that offended, you should leave the show.
Well, I don't think he's going to.
Hold on.
You said we're supposed to move on. No, don't move on. Leave the show then. If you can't work with a hack like me, go.
Well, that's not fair either to me. How do I get punished?
How's he spelled
Henry.
With a Y?
Yeah.
So I can understand.
But it's the first name. But he's one of the most famous soccer players of the last 20 years.
But Michael clearly is not a soccer guy. He's made that known.
Thierry Henry.
His only opinion on soccer is why does the clock not stop?
Fair enough.
Anthony, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't blame Peter. Don didn't even know what happened. You, right now, what time is it? It is
4:35 on the dot.
4:35. You're dead to me. Thierry Henry.
Yeah, I understand.
You are dead because they didn't even hear it when it was said. You are dead to me.
I didn't even know because I didn't know.
I didn't know who he was talking about.
I know.
If I knew who he was talking about, I would have said something.
If I was looking at the list, I would have said something, but I wasn't, so I just didn't.
Now, I don't think he would have said Henry Richard or Henry Richard.
No, Henry Richard.
Because Henry with an I. But if he spells it with a Y, I can't understand the first name. But
let's keep going. Let's say good evening.
Can we? I don't know if we can.
Thierry Henry.
Let's say good evening to Don.
Dead.
Now I got to put my head in Tomlin's space.
That's interesting. Let me say good evening to Don.
Who am I to decide what guy is sexy?
Great question. And good evening to myself. How you like them apples, buddy? And also to Don LaGreca of yesteryear.
PDs, Schmeedies.
Well, guys, I don't know if you saw what happened with the Jets yesterday, but they didn't play very well. And Jeff Olbrick, or who, as I call him, and me and his good friends call him, Brick, he just says the Jets simply weren't prepared.
Overall, after a long layoff there, they were not prepared to play, didn't execute even close to our standard, and that falls on my shoulders 100%. I didn't do a good enough job getting these guys ready. I thought the physicality and the effort was fine. That was not the issue. It was execution, and that was all three phases. Until we get that right, this thing will not turn.
He's going to be, you know what I'm looking forward to, guys? And I say this respectfully. Jeff Olbrick's name in trivia, it's going to be tremendous one day. One day, that trivia piece. When the Jets fired head coach Robert Saleh, who was the interim coach for the rest of the 2024
Many's
season?
first guess will be Thierry Henry. They'll be wrong. Thierry Henry.
Good, well done. Aaron Rodgers, not an easy loss to take.
Disappointing. Yeah, it's disappointing. Had some chances early on to make it stay close and just disappointing.
He says they simply need to score more. They came out flat.
It's been, a lot of emotions this year for sure. I thought, after a big win Thursday night, nice long week, we were going to come out with a lot of energy and win the game, and we just, we didn't come out with great energy on either side of the ball. You're not going to beat anybody scoring 6 points.
How? Don knows that this bothers me over 20. How? You play once a week, Thursday or whatever, and you don't come out with energy? Why? How? Under what circumstances would you not have energy? We do 5 shows a week, 3.5 hours a day, and we darn well better have energy when we go on the air. Even if we feel lousy, if something's going wrong with our family, we have to have energy. Because you know what? That's what we're paid for.
That's right.
That's what we're paid for. How do you not have energy?
Because I just think it's a lame excuse.
Oh, so it's I guess it's better than saying we stink, right?
Right, exactly. But why not just say we stunk today? Just nothing worked for us. We're going to come back. We're going to try to correct the problem. When you say it's a lack of energy, really? For some reason, the AFC has gifted you this opportunity that a 3-6 football team still has a path, Michael. That's all we heard all week. They've got a path. All these things that could still happen for this team. Most of their losses have come in the other conference. They've got this tiebreaker. That they could still do this, Michael. And then you come out flat. This was supposed to be one of the games that they could win. I don't know if there's a game they can win the way that they played. But you can't say that because then that's admitting that you're not good enough. So, we just lacked energy. Why? You had extra days rest. You're still alive, even though there's no reason you should be. It's all the reason to have energy, Michael.
It's disgraceful. It really is.
So it's not a lack of energy. It's a lack of coaching, a lack of ability. Yeah, you could put a bunch of talented people together. There's a lot of bands that have talented people. Still sound like garbage, right? There's a lot of things that have to come together, and it's not coming together. They got a lot of talented guys, but they just can't get it together.
You know what sums up this season in a nutshell?
Tell me.
Isn't that really the theme song for the season? Just a straw in the wind.
But it's...
Don, what did you think of the Houston uniform yesterday? Good.
I'm good with those. What do they call them? Because the Panthers had the same thing.
The Crush? Red Crush?
Or just like with the black helmets with the logo in the color of the team, but it's not the actual logo. I don't know what's going on.
Listen, Michael and I got screwed because Michael picked with me. And we got screwed on the Detroit game yesterday. But I do it again. That's a good football team.
I wouldn't do it again. They didn't cover, that's why.
I would have done all my picks again.
Yeah, well, you were perfect again.
Perfect again? No, Don's having a year. What happened?
Something's coming together. Maybe the kids are getting older. They don't
is that what it is?
Much. I don't know.
I think it's the kickboxing. The kids don't need them anymore. It's I
got to tell you, the kickboxing, it's all coming together. I got to get Kimball to get to the other place. Got to make it work.
Yeah, you need that. You know who else would be a good trainer potentially for you?
Thierry Henry.
Garrett Wilson's blunt. He says this team is simply playing like trash.
I don't think we went into this with the wrong mentality. I don't think we went about, our meetings, our practice this week in the wrong way. I just think that, at the end of the day, it's all about Sundays. I say that all the time. But when you go out and play bad, you got to, maybe fake it a little bit to make it seem real. But the energy's not there because we're playing like trash. So that's how I see it.
There are certain teams in this league you just can't get blown out by. I don't care the year they're having. You can't get blown out by Arizona. You just can't. It's impossible to get up from. And now, also,
this is why I want to give Garrett Wilson a hug, because we just figured it all out by what he said. The lack of energy. It's because they didn't have it. They didn't fight through it. Like some days it's just not going to work, right, Michael? No matter what happens, it's just not your day. Now, are you going to fight through it, try to make it work, or are you just going to take a knee? They decided to take the knee. That's the lack of energy. There's a lot of times you come to work, just not happening, you just don't feel it, just not working out for you, but you continue to persevere, you continue to fight through it. And sometimes those end up being your best days because you're more focused and you decide, I'm going to have to give a little extra today because I don't have it. They didn't have it and said, all right, we're good. We'll try again next week.
We always have punt. And they went for the punt.
That's a scary thing. They didn't punt that much until the second half. They're settling for field goals. Bad in the red zone, man.
Bad in the red zone, man.
They were getting yards, chunks of yards.
Well,
I thought this was going to be a shootout. Didn't you think that?
The backbreaker was it 21-6? Drive after halftime? Something like that, or 24-6.
Oh, yeah.
They marched right down the field, and you think they're about to maybe make it 24-14 and play a football game. And then they couldn't.
And in that drive, if I can sound my same tired refrain.
I know what you're going to say.
Tell me. Let's see if we think alike.
Helped out by a pass interference.
No.
Okay.
Nope. I don't even remember. It was a tight end. It was a Jet tight end. They're down 24-6. They get a first down, and he does a pose for first down.
Oh, boy.
When you're down by that much, don't do that. You look like a stooge. What are you doing? Look at me. I'm on a losing team. What are you doing?
All right, well, they were doing it on the defensive side, too, Michael. They finally, Murray with complete 20 straight, finally get an incompletion, and everybody's celebrating the incompletion, only to be able to give up, another 20 yards on the next play. No, it was so bad. No, I thought you were going to say that drive was helped out by a pass interference. So even when they actually were putting together a really good drive, they were helped out with that. But they get in the red zone and they can't score. Can't do anything. Then they had to go for it on 4th down, which I think was the right thing to do. And then they don't convert. They get 0 points out of it. Game, set, match.
Not good.
No, it's not what you want.
I wonder how Ambassador Johnson feels. He had it was kind of like Ambassador a toss-up week, you know? Yeah, Tuesday was big for him. Sunday was terrible for him. But what was
Clown
bigger?
show! Clown show! Clown show! Clown show!
That should be the real anthem for this team this season. It is not what
Which
you
one?
want.
Could be for both.
Let's hear from Brian Daboll.
By the way, can we stop? Can we stop? National broadcasters continue to call him Daboll. He was on the show and said, like, table, like table.
Yeah, come on, pay attention. Let's do some work.
Come on. People aren't doing the work. What gives you the confidence, Coach, that this team can turn things around?
Yeah, I believe we got the right people. Again, results aren't out there yet. We just lost a tough game. We've got to tighten up quite a bit of things. Some situational football. The turnovers got us today. But we'll go back, we'll go to work, and we'll make improvements that we need to make.
Hey, Don and Peter, you ready for this? Remember when I told you the Giant record since the boat trip, 39, 85, and 1?
Right.
Do you know what the Jet record is over that time?
Is it just
worse?
One, probably the same, but without a
yes! The 39 and 86. The two teams are 78, 171, and 1.
Oh, my God. And who was it that hit the playoff? Just the fact that you did it immediately, the comedic timing was brilliant. Because we got the right people in place. What are you going to say? Because you're one of the people.
He stinks.
As for Daniel Jones on his performance.
Yeah, not good enough. Anytime you turn the ball over twice in the red zone, not good enough.
I'm just so sick of this song.
I do feel bad for. I think he's a good kid.
He is,
and he works really hard. Like, that's not a guy that's for a lack of trying. He just doesn't have it.
No, listen, I got news for you, buddy. I mean, there are other jobs he could do. He won't. And guess what? Here's the beautiful part about football.
Tell us.
He'll never have to do one. He can literally, for the rest of his life. But before you think, I feel bad. Because he seems nice. And even though he can't play an iota of NFL quarterback, I feel sad for him. Before you think anything about that, Don, before you feel bad for him,
okay,
he can spend the rest of his life living in a giant house, having fancy meals with the women of his choice. Every day can be a party for the rest of his life. He is that rich to be, let's be honest, the absolute World Book Encyclopedia definition of mediocre. That's not bad.
Yeah, but
come on.
I still feel bad for him.
Why?
Because let me relate it back to you. You're very talented at what you do.
I appreciate
You're an outstanding radio personality.
Thank you.
And you're compensated for it.
Somewhat.
But let's say you for whatever reason, coming out of Maryland, you were given a ton of money. Like generational wealth that you never have to worry about money again. But you flat out failed at radio. And never be good at your dream. Do it for a couple of years, embarrassed out of radio.
Not quite embarrassed out of it. Nothing left to do.
But I'm saying, like, he's going to get cut. He's going to be a backup, and he's going to go quietly into that good night, never really accomplish what he set out to accomplish. You would still feel bad. That, yeah, you got money, and you're never going to have to worry about it, but knowing that you failed at the one thing you wanted to do so badly in your life, that's worth feeling bad for somebody for it. Right, Michael, or no?
Yes, but hold on. He didn't fail. He made it to the NFL and played multiple seasons. Relative to the pool of people who want to play in sports, he is in the 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Understood.
He made it. He's a huge success.
But I don't think he just wanted to make it. I think he wanted to try to, especially the 6th overall pick. This is not Mr. Irrelevant. He's just happy to be there. He was drafted 6th overall, whether he deserved to be or not. He was going to be taken in the first round, so he thought he was going to have himself a career. And he
did, though. He's had
but not the career that he was hoping.
I get it, and
have it end the way that it ended.
Sure. But he got to have a career and has a lot of money to show for it. I'm just saying.
But everybody just thinks the money is supposed to solve everything. But it's not just the money.
It's the money, and he did it. Like, he really did it. He has been the front-facing piece of the Giants organization for 5 years.
But it hasn't been good. 6 years, and it hasn't been good, though.
But still, no one gets to do that. That's insane. That's insane.
Nobody gets
and if you could put together 4 sentences, you could have a TV career for the rest of your life. Now, I'm not sure if he could do the sentences part, but what I'm saying is he could work on it. He's he's dealt with the spotlight well, personality-wise. The problem is the football hasn't been there. That'll do it for ENN on this Monday evening. I was going to